Hello there, my family and friends here on the social media world. Particularly, I'm speaking to those I know who are going to be watching Facebook, but you might be on some other platform sometime. But I am so grateful to be back again with another video. And so wherever you're watching from, I want to greet you and say, God bless you. Today, I just have a quick thought, and really, it's just about God's protection. And not only is it a thought, but I have a testimony. And I always like to share a testimony along with what I'm saying because it really helps us to see how God is at work in our lives practically. Because, God's aware of everything. I mean, he says he's aware of all the sparrows that fall to the ground, even the least of them he knows about. And so, I was thinking today about God's protection, divine protection, and how often it's not just what God saves us from when we think about protection, but it's what he often sometimes helps us to avoid. And of course, we could look in the scriptures and see a couple examples of that. We see in Matthew chapter 2, where Joseph was told by the angel to take Mary and Jesus and make that flight to Egypt so that they would avoid a problem that they would have to face had they went there. And we also see from another example where God warned Joseph in a dream, and basically that avoided a problem. And we also see in the story of the three wise men and how God warned them not to return back to Herod to avoid his plot. So we see there's times when God will show up in our lives and help us and give us warnings and that way to keep us from trouble or possible problems. And and we can't forget in Acts chapter 27, where Paul is told that the whole basically voyage would end up in disaster, but that everybody's life would be okay. So we're not guaranteed that we're just going to be able to go through life without any trouble, because Jesus did say, in this world, you will have trouble, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. And so, but this is neat because I actually want to just share something over the weekend that happened with my car. And basically, it's really just I'm thankful today and just wanting to give God thanks and praise for his protection over me, because on the weekend I happened to notice I went for a drive, actually a very short drive. I actually moved my car just less than a minute away from where I was parked. And I couldn't figure out why I did that, but I did it for a reason. And I know now why, because when I got out of the car where I had parked it, I was walking and I turned around to look at the rear view of the car. And I noticed that my one tire on the right side was kind of slanted. And I'm thinking, as I'm walking inside to where I'm going, I kept turning around going, am I seeing things? Am I seeing double? The tire looks like on the right side, it's literally slanted. And I'm going, well, it drove here fine. It didn't seem like anything was out of the ordinary. The handling was fine, but it didn't look good from the rear view. And so basically, long story short, I'm glad that car did not go. I drove it right back to the spot where it came from, and it's been parked. And I'm glad I did, because it was turned out to be a very serious problem with the upper control arm. I don't know if you might be watching and understand some of these things, but basically the upper control arm was needing repair work, and the tire was starting to separate from the frame. So I had noticed, actually, I had wondered, a couple cars had beeped the horn when I had driven by them this week, but I didn't think anything of it because, I looked around the car, everything looked fine after, of course, I checked, why are they beeping the horn at me? And I figured out, well, everything's fine, tires look fine, I got all air in them, but little did I know that was the problem. And so, but see how God knew. He knew that I can't drive that because that's just an accident waiting to happen at any second. And imagine driving down the road and the tire just flies off. That's the kind of problem I was possibly facing. But God. But God, I love that two word, but God. He intervened and rescued me again. He's done it so many times, and I just want to thank him so much. And know today he's watching over you. He's watching over me. And we're guarded and guided by God. And he will protect us. Look at the times in the Bible where we can look. I just mentioned a few that God, not only did he save them from problems, but also helped them to avoid future trouble. And that's another way we see God's protection at work in our life, is by him helping us. So know that he's watching over us. We don't have to fear. We don't have to worry, but our trust is in God. And as Psalm 121 says, that he watches our going and our coming. Our ways are preserved, both now and forevermore. Okay, that's my thought for today, my precious friends and family here that are watching me. And I just want to let you know that I love you, and Jesus loves you even more, and there's nothing you can do about it. And until the next video, I just pray that you remain blessed and know that God has great plans for you and a purpose for your life, and you are valued. Okay, God bless you. Have a great day.